Sister Efe! Sister Efe! Sister Efe, please tell us a story.
Yes, tell us one of those amazing stories about Africa.
We want to hear about kings, queens, warriors, and ancient kingdoms.
All right, come closer. I will tell you a story, but not just any story. This is a story from the past, a story about real people who walked on this land, built great kingdoms, fought great battles, and left that still lives today. So gather around, because today we are traveling back in time. Long, long ago.
Before Nigeria became the country we know today, there was a powerful kingdom in the land of the Edo people. This kingdom was called Benin, where one of Africa's most remarkable civilizations would rise. Deep in the forest of what is now southern Nigeria, a great kingdom was waiting to be born. The Edo people were skilled farmers, hunters, traders, and craftsmen. They lived in communities connected by family, tradition, and respect for their ancestors. They understood the importance of unity because they knew that a strong community could overcome any challenge. As generations passed, these communities grew larger. People gathered together, villages expanded, and leaders emerged to guide the people. Slowly, a powerful society began to take shape. This was the beginning of what would become the legendary Kingdom of Benin. In the early days of Benin, the kingdom was guided by rulers who helped organize society and maintain peace. The people believed that leadership was not only about power. It was about responsibility. The Edo people carried their history through stories, ceremonies, and traditions passed from one generation to another. Every song, every festival, and every piece of artwork carried memories of the people who came before them. Their past was not forgotten. It was protected. As the kingdom grew stronger, its capital began to develop into a remarkable city. Benin City became the heart of the kingdom. It was a place where rulers made decisions, artists created masterpieces, and traders brought goods from distant lands. Benin City was not a random collection of buildings. It was carefully organized. The people created systems that helped the city function, from farming and trade to leadership and protection. The strength of Benin was not only found in its buildings or its warriors. It was found in its people. Their dedication, creativity, and respect for tradition helped the kingdom survive through many generations. But every great kingdom needs a great leader. And soon, Benin would enter a new chapter that would change its history forever. A new system of kingship would rise. And the rulers known as the Obas would become the symbol of Benin's power. The Oba became the highest authority in the kingdom. The title represented more than a king. The Oba represented unity, tradition, and the connection between the people and their ancestors. Under strong leadership, Benin continued to grow. LTS people developed new skills, strengthened their communities, and built a civilization that would one day become known far beyond Africa. To outsiders, hidden among the forests of West Africa was a kingdom they knew little about. But within those forests was a civilization full of creativity, intelligence, and power. At the center of the Benin Kingdom was a powerful institution that represented the strength and unity of the Edo people. This was the throne of the Oba. The Oba was not simply a ruler who wore a crown. He was the guardian of tradition, the protector of the kingdom, and the symbol that united the people. The palace of the Oba was the heart of Benin City. Within its walls, important decisions were made, ceremonies were held, and the future of the kingdom was planned. The palace was filled with skilled workers, royal advisors, craftsmen, and guards who served the kingdom. The Oba did not rule alone. He was supported by chiefs and leaders who helped manage different parts of the kingdom. They advised the king, helped maintain order, and represented different communities. Together, they created a system that allowed Benin to remain strong for generations. But behind every great kingdom are ordinary people doing extraordinary things. Farmers provided food for the cities. Traders connected Benin with distant lands. Craftsmen created beautiful works that would later become famous around the world. Every person had a role in keeping the kingdom alive. A great kingdom also needed protection. Benin developed a powerful military force that defended its people and its lands. The warriors of Benin were known for their discipline, courage, and loyalty. They protected the kingdom from threats and helped maintain its influence. The Obas' appearance carried deep meaning. Coral beads, royal clothing, and symbols of authority showed the importance of the throne. Every piece represented history, respect, and the connection between the ruler and the traditions of the people. Benin was not only a kingdom of warriors and rulers. It was a kingdom full of life. Festivals brought communities together. Music, dance, ceremonies, and storytelling kept the culture strong. The Edo people celebrated their identity proudly. As the kingdom grew, Benin City became one of the most impressive cities in Africa. It had organized streets, markets, homes, and areas where different crafts were created. Visitors who arrived at Benin were amazed by the size and structure of the city. The influence of Benin continued to grow. Its leaders strengthened relationships with nearby communities and expanded the kingdom's influence. Benin became a name known throughout the region. One of Benin's greatest strengths was unity. The people shared a common identity, protected their traditions, and worked together to build something greater than themselves. With strong leadership, skilled people, and a powerful culture, Benin entered an era of greatness. The kingdom was no longer hidden. Its name would soon travel beyond Africa. And the world would discover the incredible achievements of the Edo people. Inside the great city of Benin were talented artists who dedicated their lives to creating beautiful works. They were not ordinary craftsmen. They were historians, storytellers, and creators. Through their hands, they preserved the memories of kings, warriors, ceremonies, and important moments. Many of Benin's greatest artists worked closely with the royal palace. Their creations were made to honor the Oba, celebrate the kingdom, and remember the achievements of important people. Every artwork carried a message. Among the greatest achievements of Benin's artists were their bronze sculptures. Using incredible skill and patience, they created detailed artworks from metal. The process required knowledge, experience, and generations of learning. Inside the workshops, fires burned brightly as artists carefully shaped their materials. With every movement, they transformed simple materials into powerful symbols of history. A mistake could destroy hours of work, but their skill allowed them to create masterpieces. The artists created sculptures of kings, queens, warriors, and important figures. The faces captured expressions, clothing, hairstyles, and royal symbols. They were not just decorations. They were records of a civilization. Some artworks showed events from the kingdom's past. They displayed royal ceremonies, battles, and moments that the people wanted future generations to remember. Long before cameras existed, Benin artists used their creativity to preserve history. The knowledge of creating these artworks was passed from one generation to another. Parents taught children. Masters trained apprentices. The secrets of their craft became a treasure protected by the kingdom. As people from other lands arrived in Benin, they discovered something they did not expect. They found a kingdom filled with artists whose skills matched some of the greatest craftsmen anywhere in the world. The beauty and detail of Benin art amazed many visitors. For many years, some outsiders had wrongly believed that African civilizations were not advanced. But the achievements of Benin showed a different story. They showed intelligence, creativity, organization, and incredible artistic ability. To the people of Benin, these artworks were not just valuable objects. They represented ancestors, traditions, and the identity of a people. Each creation carried the spirit of the kingdom. The palace of the Oba became home to many incredible artworks. The walls and halls told stories through sculptures and decorations. It was a place where history could be seen with your own eyes. The names of many individual artists may have been forgotten with time, but their creations survived. Their hands built a legacy that continues to inspire people around the world. As Benin grew larger and more powerful, protecting the kingdom became very important. The forests around Benin provided natural protection, but the people also created their own defenses. They understood that a strong kingdom needed both wisdom and strength. The warriors of Benin were trained to be disciplined and loyal. They protected the kingdom, guarded important places, and stood ready whenever danger appeared. Their strength came not only from their weapons, but from their dedication to their people. Becoming a warrior required skill and commitment. They learned how to use weapons, how to work together, and how to follow the commands of their leaders. A warrior was expected to have courage, but also patience and self-control. The strength of Benin's military was not only in numbers. It was also in organization. Leaders planned carefully, soldiers worked together, and every person understood their role. This discipline helped Benin remain powerful for many generations. The warriors guarded the entrances to the city. They protected the palace, the markets, and the people who called Benin home. To enter the heart of the kingdom was to pass through the eyes of its defenders. But perhaps one of Benin's greatest achievements was not made from bronze or gold. It was made from earth. The great walls and moats of Benin became one of the most impressive human-made structures in Africa. Creating these walls required the work of many people. Generation after generation, the people of Benin shaped the earth to create enormous defensive structures. It was a project that showed teamwork, planning, and determination. The walls stretched across large areas of land, surrounding communities and protecting the kingdom. They showed that Benin was not only a place of art and culture. It was a place of engineering and intelligence. When visitors later heard about the size and complexity of Benin's defenses, many were surprised. They discovered a civilization that had created something extraordinary. A kingdom hidden in the forests had built structures that showed incredible knowledge. The warriors were not separate from the people they protected. They were fathers, brothers, sons, and members of the same communities. Their duty was to protect the home they loved. Behind the power of the Oba was the strength of the kingdom's people. Artists created. Farmers provided. Traders connected the kingdom. Warriors defended it. Together, they created something greater than themselves. At its height, Benin stood as one of the most organized and powerful kingdoms in West Africa. Its streets were filled with life. Its palace was filled with tradition. Its borders were protected by strength. At its height, the Kingdom of Benin was connected to a wider world through trade and relationships. The kingdom was not isolated. Its people exchanged goods, ideas, and knowledge with communities near and far. The markets of Benin were filled with activity. Farmers brought food. Craftsmen displayed their creations. Traders exchanged valuable goods. The sounds of conversation, bargaining, and movement filled the streets. Benin had many valuable resources. The kingdom became known for products such as ivory, pepper, palm products, and beautiful artworks. These goods helped strengthen the economy and brought opportunities to the people. Many years ago, visitors from Europe began arriving in the region. They had heard stories about a powerful kingdom deep in the forests of West Africa. They wanted to see Benin for themselves. When some visitors reached Benin, they were surprised by what they saw. They found a large and organized city. They saw skilled workers, impressive buildings, and a society with its own systems of leadership. The royal palace was one of the places that amazed visitors the most. The Obas court followed traditions that had been developed over many generations. Every ceremony, every symbol, and every movement carried meaning. The relationship between Benin and other lands was not only about buying and selling goods. It was also about communication and diplomacy. The rulers of Benin understood the importance of maintaining relationships beyond their borders. However, when different cultures meet, understanding is not always easy. Some outsiders saw Benin only through their own perspective. They did not always understand the traditions, beliefs, and systems that made the kingdom unique. The greatness of Benin was not only found in its wealth. It was found in its knowledge. The people understood farming, art, leadership, engineering, trade, and organization. As more people learned about the kingdom, the name Benin became known beyond West Africa. A kingdom that had grown from the lands of the Edo people had become a civilization remembered across the world. For centuries, Benin stood proudly. Its traditions were strong. Its people were skilled. Its rulers carried the responsibility of protecting their heritage. But every great kingdom faces challenges. The story of Benin was not finished. A difficult chapter was approaching. A moment that would test the strength of the kingdom and change its history forever. By the late 1800s, the world around Benin was changing. European powers were expanding their influence across Africa. Many African kingdoms found themselves facing pressure from powerful foreign nations seeking control over land and resources. The Kingdom of Benin had existed for centuries with its own rulers, traditions, and systems. The Oba and the leaders of Benin wanted to protect the independence of their kingdom. They wanted to preserve the way of life their ancestors had built. As time passed, disagreements grew between Benin and British officials. Different sides had different goals and expectations. The relationship that had once involved trade became more complicated. In 1897, tensions reached a breaking point. A British expedition traveled toward Benin City. The events that followed would change the history of the kingdom forever. The British forces entered Benin and a conflict began. The kingdom that had stood for centuries faced a powerful invading force. The people of Benin fought to defend their homeland. During the invasion, the royal palace of the Oba was attacked. The center of Benin's political and cultural life was changed forever. Many important objects and treasures were taken away. Among the treasures removed from Benin were many of the famous bronze artworks created by the kingdom's skilled artists. These artworks traveled far away from the land where they were created. They carried with them the stories of the Edo people. After the invasion, Oba Ramwan, the ruler of Benin at that time, was removed from power and later sent into exile. For the people of Benin, it was the end of an era. The kingdom that had once been filled with celebrations, ceremonies, and royal activity entered a new chapter. Many traditions were affected, and the people faced a painful period of change. However, the spirit of the Edo people could not be destroyed. A kingdom is not only made of palaces and treasures. A kingdom lives through its people, their memories, and their culture. The story of Benin continued to be told. The artworks, traditions, and stories became reminders of a civilization that had achieved greatness long before many people knew its name. Although the ancient kingdom faced great challenges, the story of Benin did not disappear. The Edo people continued to preserve their culture, traditions, and identity. The spirit of the kingdom continued through the generations. Culture became a bridge between the past and the present. Through music, language, festivals, and traditions, the Edo people continue to celebrate who they are. The memories of their ancestors remained alive. The institution of the Oba also continued. The throne remained a symbol of tradition, history, and unity among the Edo people. It represented a connection between generations. The incredible artworks created by Benin artists continue to tell their stories. The bronze sculptures reminded the world of the skill, intelligence, and creativity of African artists. Each piece carried the voice of a civilization. Today, people around the world study the history of Benin. Researchers, artists, and historians continue exploring the achievements of this remarkable kingdom. The story of Benin has become an important part of world history. The great Benin Kingdom was more than a palace. It was more than walls, artworks, and rulers. It was the story of people who built, created, protected, and believed in something greater than themselves. The story of Benin teaches us something important. Great achievements come from creativity, teamwork, courage, and determination. A civilization is remembered because of the people who build it.
Remember, history is not just about the past. History teaches us where we came from and helps us understand where we can go.
Thank you, Sister Efe. We can't wait for another story. If you want to hear more story from Sister Efe, please like and subscribe to African Tales.